Hi there, Tim Bauer here from LiveVideoGuitarLessons.com with the practice tip of the day. This one is for the beginning player, and today I want to talk about a workaround for our A-form major bar chord. This is part of a series that we've already covered in other videos. We covered E-form major and E-form minor, and today we're dealing with A-form major, and next one will be A-form minor. So the reason we want to do this is a very short-term fix. I mean, you have to learn your bar chords. There's no getting around it. But it's really, really important that in the beginning, the first couple of months of your playing, that you're playing along with recordings of songs that you like. And I don't want you to get stuck. You know, most keys have a bar chord in there somewhere, at least one. Not all of them, but most of them. And I don't want you to get hung up on those bar chords and you know, not be able to play the song, or I don't want you to spend 3 months trying to learn the one song, because it has that bar chord in there. So we want to give ourselves an easy way to do it. And as we're playing along with the song, or you learn the song with a simple workaround, then separately work on those bar chords, because you're gonna have to struggle around with them a little bit. And I have some videos on some tips for learning how to play bar chords clearly, and they're over on the website www.livevideoguitarlessons.com. But it's a separate exercise. All right, so like for instance, in the key of E, you get a B bar chord. Normally you play it this way. So if you're playing along, that's the way it's normally played with the full A-form bar chord. But instead of learning this, which, like I said, I can't stress enough, you have to learn how to do it. Don't rely on this. But instead of playing this full B bar chord, and by the way, where these come from, you probably already know this, but it comes from your A chord. So what we're about to do with this B chord works all the way up the neck with any A-form bar chord. So just so you'll follow along, this is an A chord. And we're gonna, I'm gonna change the fingering so I can make a bar chord out of it. So if I move it up here, now it's A sharp, now it's B, now it's C, now it's C sharp, now it's D. So the same workaround, it works all the way up the neck for all these. Okay, so the workaround is we take the strings 1, 2, and 3 of our B bar chord, and that would give us this. So we just play this, and that's a whole lot easier to play than this full bar. So we just throw that in there. It doesn't sound as good because it only has 1 octave. It's a lot smaller chord. It's very thin, but it'll work. It'll get you through the exercise of playing along with the song. So. Okay, so when you get used to that, we'll make it a little bigger. So I'm just going to, instead of, you think back to your full A-form bar chord here for the B chord. And the next thing you want to do, once you get used to the 3-finger version, we want to do strings 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is going to require 4 fingers, because we need 3 fingers over here, which you'll notice looks like your A chord. And then we just need to hold this one down back here. This one sounds a little better because it has one more note in it. And so we get this. Okay, so that gives us kind of the high end of the workaround. And by the way, if you look up typically a B flat chord, people tend to learn the B flat chord like that first. And that's the same thing we were just doing. It's just back here. So if you look up charts for a B flat, that's probably what it's going to tell you to do. The better one sounds like that because it has more notes in it. It has a full lower octave in it. All right. So if you need to work it from the other end, because sometimes you need a bassy version of it. So if you're doing something like this. Throw this high B in there along with just those bassy notes, that's going to sound terrible. It's going to sound so out of character. So you need a workaround on the low end as well. And it all goes back to our B bar chord. The workaround, and by the way, it's the same workaround that we talked about in E form and also for E form minor, major and minor. And it will be the workaround for A form minor as well. Because all we're doing, we're just playing the power chord. And power chord is a misnomer, by the way. It's not a chord at all, because we're not. It's slang. We're not playing a full chord. You need 3 separate notes to play a full chord. But just to go along with slang, we'll play this power chord. So it's that note. That's my B note, and that's my 5th. You see this on internet tabs a lot. The B5. That's what they mean. Play that 1st and the 5th, and this gives you the bassy version of that. So you get. Alright, so when you get used to that with 2 fingers, and a lot of songs that'll sound perfect with 2 fingers anyway, but you can also think about your full chord there. If you want to, you could add another finger and play it as 3 strings, 3 notes. And this is still a power chord, because we still don't have the 3rd note. We're playing 3 notes, but 2 of them are B's, and one of them here is an F sharp. It's not a full chord until you have a D sharp in there. And that's too much theory for this lesson, but we'll cover that later. But this is still a B5 chord, or B power chord, and same thing. So it's just same thing, just a little bigger. So anyway, keep that in mind, and use the appropriate side. If you need a high one, play on the high strings. If you need a low one, play on the low strings. Just let your ear be the judge. And in the meantime, be working on separately on forming that full bar chord. You're going to need it. I mean, there's no. This is just a quick. This is just a little beginning crutch. This is something you don't want to do for a long time. So just kind of get you moving in the right direction. So anyway, thanks for tuning in for this lesson. Hopefully that helps. Tune in again tomorrow for another one, and I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.